D2 Word Life here with Rip Giant Gonzalez's number one fan, Tides.
Go fuck yourself.
Which is an unusually long name for you.
No.
Oh, come on, that's why you picked this event that we're about to talk about.
No, I did it because he thought that I would not like the 95 SummerSlam. Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. He didn't care for it. And then, what do I do in my casual fashion? Raise him dumpster fire!
Yeah, this week we are reviewing the 1993 SummerSlam, which the fan base, goddamn, I can't talk today. Consensus, yeah, fucking can't talk today, sit English, but then again, that always happens. Is that the fan base, they rule SummerSlam 93 as one of the worst of SummerSlams in history. So yeah, we'll just see how bad that is or how true that statement is in this review. So yeah, SummerSlam 93 took place on August 30th, 1993 in Auburn Hills, Michigan, on the outskirts of Detroit, right?
Yeah, shortly away from Scott and Rick Steiner's home.
Yep, and the venue that took place at was the Palace of Auburn Hills. I just realized something. The place is called the Palace, and we had a hitman fight a jester and a freaking king. More on that
later. Irony, isn't it?
Yeah, the irony. More on that later. And the attendance number for this event was 23,954 unfortunate fans who bought a ticket to this show. And the commentators for this event was Vince McMahon and Bobby Heenan. Oh, and also they had to mention that Jim Ross and Gorilla Monsoon were doing commentating for this event on Radio WWF, which is ironic because don't we have something like that going on today now?
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, what the irony of that is the Radio WWF never took off back then, so they scrapped it, and now, since it's more popular, now they put it on Sirius XM Radio.
Yeah, Radio WWE or whatever it's called these days. Which a lot of people in this day and era listen to a lot of Spotify, a lot of stuff like that, background noise while they're doing their daily lives nowadays, so it's more popular now than back then. And of course, the ring announcer was Howard Finkel. And before we even get into the matches, special shout out goes to the dark match that took place before this event happened on pay-per-view, and that was Owen Hart defeating Barry Horowitz. So, yeah, this was 2 years before he had his feud with Skip that we talked about last week.
This was 2 years before he officially got his
first
contract with the WWF.
Yep. I think Owen Hart at the time just re-signed with the company around this time, though it wasn't really known, right? In too much detail. So yeah, the event starts off showing a Lex Luger video package hyping up the Lex Express. Remember that shit? And
yes, I remember that.
Hyping up his main event match against Yokozuna. Yeah, and then we get Welcome to the Show by McMahon and Heenan on commentary. And then we go into our first match of the night, which was the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, taking on the bad guy, Razor Ramon.
Oh, this is a rematch. This is a revenge match for Razor costing Ted DiBiase his match against the 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah, because it was at this time Razor Ramon just turned face like a couple months beforehand, following his feud with 1-2-3 Kid, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, and this was DiBiase trying to get revenge on Ramon for that loss. And the other man had the advantage for very long, but due to heelish tactics and momentum, got back into DiBiase's favor. But Ramon quickly freaking got the advantage, nailing several clotheslines onto DiBiase here. And of course, DiBiase got desperate, trying to untie the turnbuckle cover off. And of course, when DiBiase was in control, DiBiase applied the most devastating maneuver in sports entertainment, the chin lock.
Yes.
Which even you were like, oh, damn. Oh, damn, you know that match featured a chin lock. I'm like, I know. Right? Of course, freaking Ted DiBiase tried to go for the $1 million dream, never got locked in, and I think it was during like a sleeper hold that DiBiase was locked in on. When the referee checked, does the arm check on Ramon, it was kind of weird because we're used to the referees doing that with just one arm. This referee did it with both of Razor Ramon's arms.
It wasn't even the sleeper. It wasn't even a sleeper hold because there was no sleeper hold. It was the chin lock that made it look like a choke hold.
Probably from the angle it was at. Shot at, looked like a sleeper hold.
But because you could see that it was underneath the chin, but it was still there. And Razor or Scott Hall did have a larger Adam's apple than a lot of people, which has been documented.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird seeing the referee check, see if Razor Ramon.
But back then they would actually literally lift both hands up.
Yeah, that was
just to
weird.
Make sure. Yeah, but now it's more common to do it with one.
Or if the referee thinks you're totally out, he doesn't even bother. He just rings the bell half the time. Now, right?
Yep.
But anyway, Razor got back up, got the advantage. DiBiase tried to fight back near the end, only for Ramon to reverse DiBiase's momentum, smashing DiBiase's head into the exposed turnbuckle before freaking putting DiBiase down with a Razor's Edge to get the pinfall win. Your thoughts on this?
It was a good match.
Yeah,
one of the few good matches that were actually on the show.
Yeah, it was a decent match, and here's a little fun fact. This was actually Ted DiBiase's final match in his career before he would retire from in-ring competition and transition into a manager role. So there's that. Right? So yeah, then we go it's like, was there a backstage interview following this? Actually, no, there was an interview from the crowd. We had freaking Sister and Mama Steiner in the crowd.
Yes.
Being interviewed.
And they were asking, and the guy was asking, where was Papa Steiner?
He goes, oh, he's sick. He couldn't make it. I'm like, yeah, he probably foreseen how shit the show was. Decided not to show up. Right?
But we had your favorite tag team, the Heavenly Bodies.
No. They were your favorite tag team.
No. Don't even try to push that on me, because we all know that they were your favorite tag team.
Yeah, the Heavenly Bodies, which consisted of Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey. The only entertaining act of their team was
Pritchard.
Yeah, the only entertaining act
and Bigelow, Jimmy Del Rey.
Yeah, the only entertaining thing about their tag team was Jim Cornette was their manager. Let's be real about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were taking on the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner, who were the tag team champions at the time, and they were and this was a tag team title match. Right?
Yep.
On top of it. And of course, the Heavenly Bodies tried to get the early advantage by attacking the Steiner brothers before the match began. Right? And of course, they were in control. Of course, the Heavenly Bodies were in control for the good portion of the first half of the match. It was your standard tag match. Heels in control, hot tag, that type of stuff. Right?
Yeah, but is it weird that later on, Jimmy Del Rey would be literally known as Robert Roode?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it was also weird going back and watching this match and seeing Scott Steiner with hair. I'd be like, this isn't the same math professor we know. It's hard to believe, am I right?
Yep. This is pre-professor.
Yeah. And obviously the Steiners were the fan favorites here. They were in literally near their freaking hometown. Right? And of course, Scott got the tag in at one point to control the match over the Heavenly Bodies. Your favorite tag team, not mine.
Nope.
And of course,
just because I remember the fucking Heavenly Body doesn't mean that they're my favorite tag team.
Yeah, and I still remember Billy and Chuck. I don't go around saying that was my favorite tag team either. What they got to do with this old tag match we're talking about? I have no idea. All right. Anyway, the Heavenly Bodies regained control over the Steiner brothers. Jim Cornette got involved, nailing Scott with his tennis racket in the throat. Why the referee was distracted? Right. Why are all referees easily distracted no matter what era we're talking about here? Am I right?
Yep.
And of course, it doesn't matter. Rick got the freaking tag back in, or nailed several freaking Steiner lines, or clotheslines, whatever you want to call them. All right?
Yeah.
And then Pritchard attacked him with a tennis racket. This match was pretty much out of control. The referee was like not even paying attention to shit at this point. Right? But eventually, but eventually Del Rey accidentally nailed his tag team partner with a moonsault when I believe Rick got out of the way. Right?
Yep.
Which allowed Scott to nail the Frankensteiner onto Del Rey, and then Rick got the pinfall win to retain the titles. Your thoughts on this?
Is it funny that Scott Steiner still had the fucking Frankensteiner pose on? He was literally teabagging him when he was pinning him.
And you're like, oh my god, it's the freaking Rick Steiner teabag.
No, it was a Scott Steiner's teabag.
Oh yeah, it was a Scott Steiner teabag.
Yes, because you literally can see that he was literally sitting on his legs with his fucking whole lower body on top of his head.
And then Scott Steiner was like, yeah, you got a fifth. Yeah, and he was looking at freaking Del Rey. He goes, you got a freaking 156 and 2/3 chance of being teabagged by me. I feel like I had to throw that in there just for a joke. Right?
Dude, you didn't even notice that he got fucking teabagged until I fucking said, you're like, wait a minute, let me go. Oh my god, it's true.
Yeah, if I remember correctly there. Jesus. So yeah, your thoughts on this
tag match? That was funny as hell.
Anyway, your thoughts on this tag match?
It was a good match. And the freaking Heavenly Bodies were the ones that just came from the Smoky Mountain territory.
Yeah, about a year prior or so, right? So they were like So yeah, they were like a great heel team, but yeah, they couldn't get the job done here, despite Jim Cornette's efforts on the outside. Right?
Yeah.
And then we see Shawn Michaels getting interviewed about his match against Mr. Perfect here for the Intercontinental title. Michaels was a champion going in, by the way. And then Michaels pretty much saying that, yep, he's going to be proving that he's the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time, despite flip-flopping the belt so many times at this point. Right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Michaels won the title back from Marty Jannetty about a month prior at a house show. So, at least I know that. That's what it officially states in the records. Right?
Oh, speaking of Jannetty.
Oh, yeah, more on him later. Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, the next match was for the Intercontinental Championship. It was Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels taking on Mr. Perfect. Kurt Hennig here. You know, on paper, this sounds like a great match, but in practice, it just... I don't know. I don't know. It just felt average to me. Right?
Yep.
And we'll go into a little bit of detail why.
Well, like everyone knows that they were both just best at selling their opponent's moves at this point in their career when they were just starting.
Something you don't know how to do in 2K. That's my one per video.
That's for fucking video because I know more's coming. Especially in the Giant Gonzalez and Taker match, you're gonna fucking say, "Oh, he knows how. Oh, he knows how." Just like you. Just like you.
Jesus. It's like, nah. Anyway.
I already know what's coming.
But anyway, this match started with both men exchanging wrestling holds after wrestling holds. Like you say, because they were known for selling for their opponents, but you make them collide, it just turns into this. Right?
Yeah, this wasn't their best match. Later on, they would have a better match, which was 10 times better than this.
Yeah, and it was like they were trying to technically wrestle at the start, only for their moves to get reversed over and over and over. From what I felt like.
Oh, they were doing technical moves, but they just kept reversing the same fucking move over and over.
We had side headlocks, we had freaking chin locks, side headlocks, all the 9 yards. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then this continued until Diesel, who was at ringside with Michaels here, freaking distracted Perfect, allowing Michaels to super kick him in the face. That did not work. And then Michaels, what he decided to do, he's like, okay, I'm gonna stretch out Perfect's back and another rest hold. Right? I'm just like, really? Right?
Yep.
And of course, that continued till Mr. Perfect or Kurt Hennig took control of the matchup here. And after beating down Michaels for a good minute, Perfect uses finishing maneuver, the Perfect Plex, but Diesel pulled him out of the ring and threw him into the steel steps, despite it being in clear view of the referee. And the referee was like, well, this match ain't gonna go nowhere, so he proceeded to count both Michaels, and he started the count on Michaels and Mr. Perfect on the outside of the ring when Michaels was attacking Perfect out there. Only for Michaels to get back in the ring and the referee reached the count of 10, thus Michaels won by count out. Your thoughts on this?
Like I said, this was not their best match.
They probably would have a better match somewhere, some short time later, but this wasn't it for me.
Oh, they would have a better match. I think it was in 94? Yeah, 94. It's totally bad match.
Yeah, I mean, this match, it could have been so much better than it was and had a flat finish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And obviously Michaels retained the title here, but even if he lost via count out, he'd still be champion here. Right?
Yep.
So now we go on to the next match of the night, which was the 1-2-3 Kid making his WWE pay-per-view debut. The person who would later go on to be known as X-Pac. Taking on Bray Wyatt Sr., Erwin R. Shyster, IRS. Right? If you want to call him that, right? And of course,
well, he didn't really like his name, Erwin. Erwin or Shyster. Fucking IRS. He's threatening to freaking the IRS, man, because he didn't like his fucking name.
Yeah, and I just think it's funny how they had Erwin R. Shyster, IRS, be a freaking heel. You're supposed to boo this man. But if you don't pay your taxes, then you go to jail. It makes no sense. Right?
Yeah, and the missed where they could have had them tag up together and death and taxes.
Yeah, can you imagine a Taker? Yeah, can you imagine a Taker and IRS tag team? Yeah, the two guaranteed things in life. Yeah, but they didn't do that, obviously. Right?
Yes.
But anyway, this match, some of the highlights here, freaking IRS was in control for the majority of this matchup, though the Kid was fighting back resiliency. Kid nailed several kicks on IRS, but regardless, the Kid was only in control for a little bit of time, and then IRS would take control back, wearing at one time, IRS used the abdominal stretch wearing the 1-2-3 Kid down while using the ropes for leverage illegally. Right?
Yep.
And of course, and here in the last bit of the match, this was like the shorter match on this card. Freaking X-Pac or the Kid tried to make a brief comeback, actually was able to nail a moonsault, got it too, right? The same maneuver that the Kid used on Razor Ramon to get a shocking win on Raw a couple months prior. In that famous moment that's still talked about, right?
Yep.
And of course, however, IRS kicked out of that, and then IRS was able to hit the write-off, his finishing maneuver, and got the pinfall win.
Yep.
Your thoughts on this?
It was an all right match. It was kind of lackluster, but it was there to be there.
Yeah, and this was X-Pac's first, or 1-2-3 Kid's first pay-per-view appearance, but it didn't let the loss affect him. I mean, he would go on to have better pay-per-view matches, whether he was on the winning side or the losing side later in his career anyway. So, yeah, right?
No.
And of course, then we go on to, oh God. Why do we gotta talk about this? You know how... last week when we were talking about the 1995 SummerSlam and we were talking about Bret Hart's match against Isaac Yankem? And I made a reference, and I made the joke saying, well, at least here Bret Hart's not fighting a clown. Yeah. Yeah, but let's set the scene for you. This was supposed to be Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler one-on-one. Bret Hart made his entrance. His brothers Bruce and Owen were at ringside, cheering on Bret. Of course, Bruce and Owen got a little interview before Bret Hart's entrance. And what did we see next?
They were asking how Stu Hart was doing after his surgery because he got beat up by Jerry the King Lawler. And Jerry the King Lawler comes out wearing an literally ice pack on his knee.
While coming out with crutches.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, I wanted to freaking face you because I hate your guts, I hate the Hart's guts, I hate all your guts. But I had people in the back that literally said that they'd come out and do it for you, King. So I have my own self-appointed jester.
Oh yeah, and the reasoning gave goes, yeah, I got into a car accident thanks to some 80-year-old woman or something. Right? Making up bullshit, right? He goes, yeah, my court ordered jester, Doink the Clown.
The original Doink the Clown, by the way.
And I don't remember if I freaking said it last week on last week's review, or I said it to you after the review was over, but I do remember saying something saying, yeah, SummerSlam 93, we get to see Bret Hart take on a freaking king and a jester. Right when Jerry Lawler said that, I'm like, motherfucker! Why does my joke come back to bite me?
You said it when I introduced what we were reviewing yet again.
Yeah, and then when I heard Jerry Lawler say that, I'm like, why is my joke coming back to bite me? And I bet when I said that, you probably already knew what the pre-match promo was, and right when I said that, you were probably thinking to yourself, hey, what a coincidence.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I was like, should I tell him? Should I? No. I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to let him find out himself. And then right when he's like, son of a bitch.
I was just thinking that was a joke. I didn't know it was actually said on the show. Because, mind you, I never watched SummerSlam 93 before. I wasn't planning on doing it. I heard it was a crap show. And I've seen highlights of the main event, and that was enough for me to be like, yeah, no. So, yeah. And this Doink the Clown wasn't the family-friendly version that would later become by someone else. This was the original one played by Matt Osborne. You know, the one that the one that's actually everyone actually likes. Right?
Yes, the dark brooding Doink the Clown, the one that was invented off of Pennywise.
Yeah, when Doink the Clown came out, he was carrying 2 buckets. One of the buckets he threw on the crowd, it was just confetti. Then he goes up to the Hart brothers, sitting there ringside, thinking, and everyone thought, oh, it was just confetti in the other bucket. Nope, he freaking splashed water all over them. That's a little dirty trick. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Bruce Hart was irate, jumping the guardrail, wanting to attack. Right?
So was Owen.
Yep. And of course, this was enough for Bret Hart to go outside the ring, go out and attack Doink before the match started. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then back in the ring, when the match officially got started and everything at ringside calmed down for a second. It's like Doink kind of got in control, slowed the match down, a couple of submission holds, but we know that freaking Bret doesn't submit. Right?
Yep.
And Doink went for a whoopee cushion maneuver, or a freaking leg drop, or whatever it was. Bret Hart.
The whoopee drop.
Yep. Yeah, but Bret moved out of the way and took advantage and locked freaking Doink in the sharpshooter.
No, he didn't freaking move. He literally put his knees up and literally hit him Doink in the ass.
Yes. So you can kind of so in a way you can kind of say that Bret kicked a clown in the ass.
No, he freaking corn dogged him.
Yes. And of course, Bret took full control of the match at that point. Locked Doink the Clown in the sharpshooter, right?
Yep.
Was about to put the evil clown away. And then Lawler came in and nailed Bret with a crutch, revealing that, well, he wasn't injured, and this match ended up being a disqualification victory for Bret. Right? So, yeah, before we get into the next match, or what happened afterwards, your thoughts on the Doink and Bret Hart encounter?
Decent. Oh, but it's not over.
Well, that first match was decent. Wasn't good. Wasn't really good. It was I guess below average for me, but whatever. But afterwards, as soon as Jerry Lawler and Doink were leaving the ringside area, right? being like, and Jerry Lawler was celebrating, be like, "Hey, I tricked everyone thinking I'm injured. I got out of the match. You ain't gonna touch me, Brett." President Jack Tunney came out, if you remember who that was, right?
Yeah.
And pretty much informed Howard Finkel to announce that if Lawler does not compete against Bret Hart right now, that he would have a lifetime ban from the WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it. Which obviously, you know, that didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So, in other words, Lawler was forced to compete against Bret Hart, so Bret Hart had to wrestle twice on this night, right?
Yep.
And to say that Bret Hart was squashing Jerry Lawler as soon as that match officially started is somewhat of an understatement, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then freaking... Yeah, but eventually freaking Jerry Lawler got in control after a beatdown that lasted maybe 3 to 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
Lawler got back in control, and at one point, freaking Lawler was a dick to Bret Hart's hitmans by crouching him in the ring post, right? And of course, near the end, Bret Hart fought back, nailed freaking Lawler with his own signature maneuver, the pile driver, right?
Yep.
And then Bret then locked freaking Lawler in the sharpshooter. Lawler freaking submitted or quit, saying, "Yeah, I quit," but Bret didn't let go of the hold. And the referees were pleading him to break the hold. Freaking, they had other officials coming out, pleading the hold all together. Freaking, it felt Lawler was locked in there for like 3.5 minutes. Bret refusing to let go of the hold, right?
It wasn't 3.5 minutes. It was like, I think, 8.5 minutes.
Well, either way, Lawler was locked in that hold longer than he should have been.
And the referee reversed his decision making because they were facing each other off for the undisputed king of the WWF.
And right when Bret Hart finally released the hold, the referee made the announcement that Bret was disqualified for refusing to break the hold.
Yep.
Right? Thus giving Jerry Lawler the title of undisputed king of the World Wrestling Federation, or WWE, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and we thought their Kiss My Foot match they would have like about 2 years later was bad. This one was worse. Right?
Yep.
With that kind of a finish. Your thoughts on this?
It's okay.
Yeah, and with Bret Hart refusing to let go of the submission hold, of the sharpshooter submission hold, somewhere Ken Shamrock got inspired. Why? Because remember, it was 5 years later at WrestleMania 14 when he refused to let go of the ankle lock despite getting the win. Jesus, right?
Yep.
So it was pretty much a freaking repeat of this, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, this match, I'm just like, this match kind of sucked. Though I did enjoy Bret Hart's beatdown of Jerry Lawler here, but yeah, the finish was flat, and I'm just like, I'm like, where have I seen that before? That feels like deja vu. Then I remembered, hey, yeah, Ken Shamrock did the same shit, right? So yeah, now we go on to the next match of the night. After, actually, no, we've seen a video vignette or a video package of Ludwig Borga. Who the hell remembers that guy?
I do.
Yeah, walking by decaying abandoned buildings, talking about how, oh yeah, Lex Luger said he was supposed to represent the United States as a champion. Well, this is the United States run down and whatever else he was saying, right? run down, decrepit, all that shit. All right.
Yeah.
In the next match, and that kind of segued into the next match, which was Marty Jannetty, the Rocker's reject, taking on Ludwig Borga. Who the hell remembers Ludwig Borga? Do you? And if you say yes, you're lying.
Yes, I do.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, another foreign heel. Right?
Yep.
From Helsinki, Finland. To say this match was a squash match was an understatement. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, Ludwig Borga freaking goddamn pretty much got the advantage for most of it, for 90% of this matchup here. With punches and knee strikes to freaking Marty Jannetty, only for Jannetty to manage just a little bit of brief comeback, but every time Jannetty would go on offense, Borga would freaking goddamn reverse him. And of course, the short match came to an end when Borga nailed the backbreaker, or locked freaking Jannetty with a backbreaker submission hold, and Jannetty submitted. Your thoughts on this? What was that?
Squash match.
It was a squash. Yep. And I'm just like, really? Yeah. To me, that match kind of sucked, but it might as well be the best match on this card compared to the next one we're about to talk about. If you know what I mean. Right? Because the next match we're about to talk about, the stipulation was a rest in peace match, where the match had to end by pinfall. And this was a WrestleMania 9 rematch between your boy, the Giant Gonzalez, and The Undertaker.
No.
Before we get into it, first of all, who the hell thought it was a good idea for Giant Gonzalez to wear a giant furry bodysuit? Jesus Christ. Right? And secondly, whose idea was it to be like, oh, since their match at WrestleMania 9 stuck out the joint and ended in a DQ win for Taker, we gotta run this match back so the Undertaker can get a definitive win here. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? All right?
Everyone.
Before we even get into this match, I'm gonna tell you right now, this match sucked. Bad. All right?
It was an okay match.
Well, Giant Gonzalez came out, which we all know is your boy, all right? With Harvey Whippleman in his corner. The only time you were envious of Harvey Whippleman was when he was locking lips with Bertha Faye. Let's get that straight, right?
Nope, that was you, buddy.
No, that was you, right?
Nope, that was you.
And then The Undertaker came out. Paul Bearer wasn't with him because in the storyline, Paul Bearer was attacked. Was pretty much out of action right now, or gone at the moment due to injury in storyline, of course.
Injured, yes.
And The Undertaker got in the ring. He just tried to bring the fight to Gonzalez, brawling all over the ringside area, using steel steps, the steel chairs. Apparently, a rest in peace match is a Fed's way of saying no holds barred, right?
Yep.
Which this was the only rest in peace match in WWE history, right? And of course, Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's so much. They never had another one.
And of course, eventually Giant Gonzalez started no-selling Taker's attack. Not that he had much of a choice anyway. He's a lumbering giant. So yeah, for the most part of the first half of this match, Giant Gonzalez was selling Taker's moves like you on 2K. There I go again with it. You were right.
I already fucking called it.
Yep. And then Yeah, and then when Gonzalez was in control over Taker here, freaking everyone heard the gong. Everyone heard a gong theme. The Undertaker's theme music started again. Paul Bearer came out carrying a black wreath with him. And Paul Bearer, to his credit, attacked Whippleman and took the urn back. Now, I'm thinking a freaking match between Paul Bearer and Harvey Whippleman would have been more interesting than this, right? If I'm being fucking honest here, right? Yeah, and then the Undertaker took control of the match against Gonzalez, and eventually nailed Gonzalez with a flying clothesline, I believe, from the top rope to win the match via pinfall. Yeah, your thoughts on this?
Yes, it was a flying clothesline, and he got the pinfall for it. Because he couldn't hit the freaking tombstone on fucking Giant Gonzalez.
There's no way Taker would be able to, even young Taker in his prime like that, wouldn't be able to pick up an 8-foot tall competitor for that.
I'm just trying to hit it would be very freaking awkward.
Exactly. Your thoughts on this one? The only thing
Was it his best match? No.
This was far from the Undertaker's worst match. This is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Taker's matches. Yeah, and I'm not even going to compare which match was better, their SummerSlam 93 encounter or their WrestleMania 9 encounter. Both were utter shit. At least their SummerSlam encounter ended with a fucking pinfall. That's like the only positive. Other than that, it wasn't very good. Other than that, this match wasn't good at all. You know what I'm saying? And this was the abomination why you wanted me to watch this show. Be honest with yourself. And of course, after the match was over, freaking Taker placed a black wreath near freaking Gonzalez's fallen body down there before leaving the ring. And then
that was his whole thing when he got the urn stolen from him twice.
Yeah, and then after the match, Gonzalez freaking got back up, destroyed the wreath, and then freaking turned face by attacking Whippleman. Attacked him with a choke slam, thus turning on his manager. Yeah, and Giant Gonzalez wouldn't be around in WWE for very long after this. I believe he got released at like 2 or 3 months later. Why? Because no one wanted to fight a huge giant. Apparently. The second coming of Andre the Giant, Giant Gonzalez, was not at this time. Am I right?
Yep.
I'm sorry, but the closest to Andre the Giant that WWE actually got in the future was the Big Show. At least the Big Show was able to have great matches with smaller competitors. Am I right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and in the back we see Lex Luger, we see the Lex Express, Lex Luger's bus driver getting interviewed after they showed a little video package, right? Hyping the Lex Express. Then afterwards we see Yokozuna get interviewed, more like Jim Cornette talking on Yokozuna's behalf in the back, right?
His U.S. representative.
Yep. And yeah, Jim Cornette was basically hyping up Yokozuna. Pretty much saying that Lex Luger ain't got a fat chance to win tonight, right?
Yep.
And then we go to the semi-main event of the evening, which was a 6-man tag team match. This was basically the bathroom break match for those in attendance, really, before the main event. It was the Head Shrinkers with It was the Head Shrinkers teaming up with Bam Bam Bigelow taking on the Smoking Guns and Tatanka. Right?
No.
I'm sorry, but seeing Billy Gunn with a mustache and long and a mullet, kind of weird to see today, right?
Yep.
Even though I know that was a style back then, still weird to see today, right?
There was Rikishi and his cousin.
Yeah, it was.
Well, Rikishi, as his actual name was Fatu.
Yep.
Because he wouldn't go by Rikishi until they broke up the Head Shrinkers.
Yep.
So, and the Beast from the East, the Bam Bam Bigelow, with your favorite manager.
Hey, man, Luna Vachon should have been a former women's champion, in my opinion. Don't be dissing, right?
No one would have wanted to see that. I'm sorry.
Well, with the power of hindsight, you know my statement is true, right? Yeah, well, Luna Vachon back then was a crazy freaking anti-diva before that was even a thing with the way she looked, right?
No.
Well, okay, even you have to admit that one, right?
Yeah.
And of course, freaking the Head Shrinkers and Bigelow were in control of the matchup near for the majority of the match, 6-man tag. It was
well, we had who was joining him was Bart Gunn, Billy Gunn, and Tatanka.
Yep.
The undefeated Tatanka.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Tatanka freaking was.
I just like how Bobby Heenan was like, oh, now it's Cowboys and Indians.
And I'm just thinking to myself, you say that back then? Oh, yeah, it was a freaking joke. Everyone knows. Nowadays, that'd be considered racist. Not that I give a shit. Right?
Yeah.
So if I ain't offended by it, yeah, who cares? But anyway, Tatanka tried to gain control, but until Bigelow kicked him in the back of the head, thus taking back the momentum, right? And of course, after some back and forth hot tags, the heels were mostly in control. It was your standard 6-man tag. Same old. Back and forth action with the heels taking mostly control here. Freaking Bigelow and the Head Shrinkers were all climb the turnbuckles to attempt simultaneous diving headbutts onto Tatanka, but Tatanka got out of the way. And Tatanka freaking got the win by hitting the most devastating maneuver in all of sports entertainment on Samu with a surprise roll-up for a 3 count.
Yeah, right when he got the 3 count, they all fucking took off.
Yeah, I mean, it was your basic run-of-the-mill average 6-man tag. Not a whole lot of, highlights to talk about, but your thoughts on this?
It was good. We got to see Samu. We got to see Rikishi back in the day.
As Fatu.
Yes.
And of course, you had Alpha at ringside.
Yeah, the uncle.
Yep. You know what we didn't see sitting at ringside? All the other 50-11 members of the Bloodline. Why? They didn't have that stable back then. And now with Zilla Fatu signed with WWE, I'm like, this story won't end! What the fuck? Right?
Yep.
But that's another discussion for another day. Right?
Yep.
So yeah, I thought this match was average for at best. Not really a match I would go back and see, but then again, I wouldn't want to go back and see any of these matches from this show, to be honest. Right?
Well, you did.
Yeah. And then we move on to the main event, or what we thought was going to be the main event. And then we see the Japanese national anthem being played. Right?
No. I couldn't understand one freaking word.
You couldn't understand shit. Right? Wait, you're backtrack for a second here. If you're an anime weeb, but yet you don't know Japanese, why is that?
Because I ever learned Japanese.
I'm just messing around. But anyway.
That is one language I do want to learn, though.
Yeah, and Akio Soto, he was a former member of the Orient Express, was freaking waving the Japanese flag for Yokozuna. Yokozuna freaking made his entrance first, which is weird as a champion. Usually the champion goes out second, but then Randy Savage then came out and introduced Arian Neville, an American country singer at the time, part of the Neville brothers back then.
Yeah.
And sang the American anthem, leading to Lex Luger's entrance. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Lex Luger came out to the Patriot theme song. Or one of the Patriot theme songs back then, right?
No.
Instead of his usual theme song they'd have later on. Right?
No.
And of course, the big story is, can Lex Luger beat this foreign menace to win the WWE Championship in the main event? And just so everyone's clear here, Yokozuna was not Japanese; he was really Samoan. Also, right?
Yeah, but he wrestled and did sumo in Japan. So when they recruited him, they thought that he was Japanese at that point, but they're like, and then they found he's like, oh, I'm Samoan. They're like, oh,
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna teach you this.
So technically, when Yokozuna won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 9 before losing it to Hogan in 22 seconds, you can technically say that Yokozuna was the first Anoa'i family member to win the WWE Championship, the first of many. Am I right?
Yes.
And the latest one was Roman Reigns. Figure that one out. Right?
The latest one would be Jimmy Uso that had won it.
You mean Jey
Uso? Because Roman was already champion at that point.
You mean Jey Uso when he won the world title last year?
Yes.
Okay, fine. But out of all the Hawaii family members, the person who held on to that world title longest was Roman Reigns in the modern era. Not that title reign lengths matter. I'm just pointing that out, right? But anyway, this WWE title match between Yokozuna and Lex Luger. The match started with both of them staring each other down menacingly, right? And of course, Luger gained the advantage, knocking Yokozuna down with a series of kicks by the ring ropes. Right? Kicks, knocking Yokozuna down to the ring ropes. Right?
No.
And of course, Luger tried to body slam Yokozuna early on, but yeah, Yokozuna landed on top of him. Right? And everyone's like, see, and hanging on commentary is like, see, he can't do it. He can't do it again. The first time he did on the USS Intrepid, it was a fluke. It was a hip toss. Right?
Yep.
And of course, freaking Mr. Fuji threw him the salt bucket used to attack Luger with it. Referee didn't see a thing or didn't call nothing. Right? And of course,
well, the referee didn't see it because he was dealing with
Jim Cornette on the outside. Jim Cornette was also
Jim Cornette and Macho Man Randy Savage.
Which Jim Cornette versus Randy Savage would have been a better encounter than this, right? Right.
Yep.
Of course, Yokozuna wore Luger down with nerve holds and other wear down holds, rest holds, whatever. Luger came back, brief comeback, but Yokozuna fought back and was able to nail a leg drop on freaking Luger. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, dude, he's dead. He's pancaked. Right?
Yeah.
And then pulled him in the corner for a bonsai drop, but Yokozuna missed the target. Luger got out of the way.
No, Yokozuna missed the leg drop too because Luger moved.
Yeah. And Luger moved, right? Either way, shortly after Yokozuna missed the bonsai drop, Luger actually successfully body slammed Yokozuna down. And that's when the managers got involved. So Luger attacked Fuji at ringside, knocking him down on the apron. And then Yokozuna got up looking like all wobbly, and then Luger nailed freaking Yokozuna with a forearm smash. Remember, Lex Luger had that titanium plate put in his arm after a motorcycle accident, which knocked Yokozuna completely out of the ring, knocked out. Right?
No.
And while all hell was breaking loose, the referee counted to 10, and Lex Luger won via countout. So therefore, Yokozuna is still WWE champion. Because the championship cannot change hands by a countout or a DQ.
It didn't matter.
And what do we see next? We see other superstars come out, hoist Luger up with the American flag, and balloons coming down. Freaking goddamn Luger was celebrating like he won the lottery when he didn't win shit.
It didn't matter if the title was on. The thing is that everyone said that he could not beat Yokozuna or body slam Yokozuna, and he freaking proved them that they were wrong.
He technically didn't beat Yokozuna. He only beat him on a technicality. He didn't beat him by submission or pinfall definitively.
That doesn't matter. A win is a win.
So yeah, Luger was celebrating nothing. That would be like you entering the friggin' lottery, only winning $5 and celebrating like you won the big one.
It doesn't matter. A win is a win is a win.
It was a hollow win. It meant nothing.
Okay, whatever you say, hypocrite.
Who are you calling a hypocrite?
You!
Jesus, what for? What? I don't fucking celebrate nothing.
Every time Roman Reigns has won the freaking title, it has been by disqualification.
Jeff. It's like, yeah.
And you parade around and say, yeah, acknowledge, yeah, you hypocrite!
Acknowledge me, you asshole.
No.
Oh, and if this wasn't bad enough, the icing on this freaking confusing, freaking empty fucking celebration cases, right when the pay-per-view was going off air, they showed a Lex Luger music video. No one talks about that. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? About halfway through, I'm like, I'm done. I'm turning this off. I was laughing too hard.
Right? Oh, it wasn't over. They had a backstage interview with Luger and everyone back there when fucking Ludwig Borga came out and said, "Oh, I do not respect you. I don't respect where you came from. You know, you didn't impress me."
Ugh. Yeah, and this
would set up the rivalry of Lex Luger versus Borga,
which would eventually lead to their Survivor Series match against each other in that traditional Survivor Series elimination match. But yeah, they advertised Survivor Series of '93 during this show, by the way. Oh boy. Because, back then they only had, like, the big 5 pay-per-views. They didn't have, like, the monthly pay-per-views in between, but still. Right?
Yep.
So it's like, fuck. This match was alright. This main event was alright, but the fucking ending was flat.
Oh, thanks for reminding me of that one, buddy.
I don't even remember how bad Survivor Series 93 was, and then you're like, I got an idea for one of November's reviews.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Right. So
we
anyway,
will be reliving the Ludwig Borger and Lex Luger match.
Survivor Series traditional elimination match. I think freaking, yeah, it was, yeah, not only was that not only was that Survivor Series match the culmination of the Luger and Borga rivalry, it was also the start of the Taker Yokozuna rivalry as well. They were killing two birds with one stone there, right? But anyway, now we go on to what I always call our favorite portion of the review. our rating system and our respective final grades. God, this event sucked. Razor Ramon defeating Ted DiBiase in the opener. I gave that one 3.5 out of 5.
4.
Okay. Fair enough. The Steiner brothers defeating the Heavenly Bodies to retain the tag team championships. I also gave that one 3.5 out of 5.
3.
Yep. Shawn Michaels defeating Mr. Perfect by countout to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sorry, the match could have been better than what it was. I gave it 2.5 out of 5, and the finish was flat anyway. What do you say?
3.
IRS defeating the 1-2-3 Kid. I gave that one 3 out of 5.
3.5.
Bret Hart defeating Doink the Clown by disqualification. 1.5 out of 5.
Oh no, we're combining the point because he had 2 matches, so it's a combined match because it wasn't even that long of a match with Doink.
Okay, fine. You want to combine it? I'll fucking combine it. Bret Hart defeating Doink the Clown by disqualification, immediately followed by Jerry Lawler defeating Bret Hart by disqualification. I give that one a combined fucking rating of 2 out of 5. And the most entertaining match was a Doink the Clown Bret Hart encounter. And that's being nice when I say 2. For both matches combined, because separately, the Bret Hart Doink the Clown match I gave 1.5 out of 5, and the Jerry Lawler Bret Hart match I gave 1 out of 5. So if you must know my separate scores.
2.5.
Oh, Jesus. Ludwig Borga squashing Marty Jannetty. 1 out of 5. I agree. 1 out of 5. Fuck it. Right? Undertaker defeating Giant Gonzalez in that Rest in Peace match. 0.
3.
Get out your fucking damn mind. I knew Gonzalez was your boy.
No, it was a decent match. Then it was just shit towards the end.
Yep.
Because Taker told Gonzalez to literally hit him in the back, and what does he do? He hits him in the freaking shoulders.
Yep. Tatanka and the Smoking Guns defeating Bam Bam Bigelow and the Head Shrinkers. I gave that one 3 out of 5.
3.5.
And in the main event where we saw Lex Luger defeat Yokozuna via countout for the WWE Championship, thus winning nothing, I gave that one 3 out of 5.
3.5.
And my overall final score for SummerSlam 93 is unsurprisingly an F, because, well, fuck this event.
D.
Yep. Now, according to my contract, it says after the whole Heroes of Wrestling debacle that I have to pick at least one match to recommend. So, the only matches I would recommend from this show you watch is either the DiBiase Ramon match or the tag team title match. You don't need to see anything else from this show. Trust me, you don't want to. Unless you want to see how mind-numbingly bad Taker and Gonzalez was in their rematch from WrestleMania 9.
Gonzalez and Taker match.
Why? You want everyone else to suffer, don't you? God. So, anyway, that's our freaking thoughts and our review for SummerSlam 1993. I'm glad I never have to watch this event again. But yeah, anyway. I know it's my pick of what we're going to be doing next week, but I need a break from watching these retro events. But I still want to do a video next week, so after thinking it over and talking with you about it, I decided that next week we are taking a break from the freaking pay-per-view review series. And instead we are going to have a tier list video. So next week we are going to be tier list ranking every single Hell in a Cell match that took place between 97 to present day. That one's going to be a long one, but it's going to be worth it because we haven't done a tier list video in a long ass time.
Well, yeah. Well, also it's because he doesn't want to fucking look for a shittier event, which I would raise him bullshit.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I know you would. I mean, hell, I could have said next week we're reviewing No Mercy 03 for the Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon I Quit match, which was garbage. And you'd be like, fine, the week after that, we're doing Judy Bagwell on a pole. Knowing you, am I right?
Oh, no, I'm saving that one.
I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, you could do that, right?
No, the Vince versus Stephanie was actually decent. Well, to me it was. But of course, as you always say, I like shit matches, so.
So yeah, next week we're gonna be doing a tier list for every single Hell in a Cell match in WWE history. So until then, we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.